We reflect on ancient Chinese philosophy. During the late Zhou dynasty, Chinese philosophers began questioning human nature, the universe, and good governance. China already had an established tradition that involved the mandate of heaven, filial piety, and bureaucracy, all systems designed to make China efficient and respectful. In 551, Confucius was born, and as he grew up, he observed China increasingly moving towards violence. He wrote down his ideas about how to rebalance the order of society in the Analects. His ideas were about ethical politics, people all acting in harmony to make a better society. Very similar to Hinduist Dharma, he spoke of the peace that can come when duty is followed and when the needs of humanity are put first. Confucius looked at the world in terms of 5 constant relationships, like parent-child, ruler-subject, and teacher-student. In each of these relationships, each individual must do what is required of them in their role to meet the needs of the other member of the relationship, what Confucius called right relationships. Most important to Confucius was the relationship between parents and their children, or filial piety. Confucius believed that if a relationship was violated, it must be put back in balance, because all men are brothers, and we must do to others that which we would have done to us. He believed that people needed to be ethical to be serving in government. Confucius was attempting to reinvigorate the idea of the mandate of heaven within the Zhou dynasty. Within that same time period, a philosopher named Lao Tzu was examining Daoism. He wrote a book about the Tao, the Way. Lao Tzu believed the best action was inaction and letting the universe guide your choices in day-to-day living, just letting nature take its course. A third philosophy at the time was the idea of legalism. Both Daoism and Confucianism saw the goodness and promise of humanity. However, legalism believed that human beings were born evil, and if left to the world without law, they would destroy society. People needed to be afraid of the rule of law, and to accomplish that, harsh punishments were created and enacted. In legalism, obedience to the state was the ultimate goal. It also played well into filial piety. Between 400 and 200 BC/BCE, while Alexander and the Greeks conquered Asia and the Romans moved into the Mediterranean, China devolved into civil war. In 221, a man named Qin Huangdi emerged to create the Qin dynasty. He was deeply legalistic, abandoning previous Confucianism of the centuries to imprison and execute his opponents. He burned books that opposed him, silenced dissenters, and generally frightened the people from being disobedient. However, because he silenced opposition, he pushed through a massive agenda. Qin was able to enlarge the central Chinese state and build its bureaucracy. He divided it into 3 ministries, civil, military, and government oversight, and called it the censorate. He pushed through the money system, the writing system, the road system, and built the Great Wall of China to protect China in the north. China is even named after Emperor Qin. But absolute power does not mean absolute love, and his empire lasted 20 years.